In the quiet moments of the night, long after the noise of the day fades, a question sometimes appears in the minds of those who have spent years chasing wealth. It's a subtle question, almost uncomfortable to confront. If money was supposed to bring peace, why does the urge to earn more never seem to stop? Why does the satisfaction of reaching one financial milestone dissolve so quickly, replaced by the restless desire for the next? The pursuit of money is often described as ambition, discipline, or vision. But beneath those respectable labels, another possibility exists. For some people, the pursuit of more money begins to resemble something far more powerful and far more dangerous. It begins to resemble addiction. Not the kind of addiction that arrives with obvious warning signs, but the quieter kind. The kind that disguises itself as productivity. The kind that society applauds. The kind that slowly rewires the mind until the idea of enough becomes almost impossible to define. We're starting with number 5. At first, the pursuit of more money feels entirely rational. Early financial goals are simple and grounded in survival. Paying rent without anxiety. Building a savings cushion. Escaping the constant pressure of living paycheck to paycheck. These goals are healthy, necessary even. But something subtle happens once survival is no longer the primary concern. The brain begins to associate earning with reward. Every successful deal, every increase in income, every growing number on a financial statement triggers a quiet surge of satisfaction. It feels like progress, proof that effort is being recognized by the world. This reward system is powerful. It activates the same neurological pathways that reinforce many addictive behaviors. The brain begins to expect the next win. And once it has tasted the emotional reward of financial growth, standing still begins to feel strangely uncomfortable. Number 4. The goalposts quietly move. In the beginning, a certain income level may feel like the ultimate destination. A number that represents freedom, stability, security. But once that number is reached, something unexpected happens. It stops feeling extraordinary. What once felt like success becomes the new normal, and the mind begins calculating again. Perhaps true freedom requires a little more. Perhaps the next level will provide the peace that still feels slightly out of reach. Psychologists sometimes call this the hedonic treadmill, the phenomenon where improvements in life circumstances create only temporary increases in happiness before expectations rise again. But when this treadmill combines with financial ambition, it can become relentless. Each achievement creates a brief sense of victory before quietly raising the standard for what counts as success. Number 3. Comparison begins shaping the definition of wealth. Money rarely exists in isolation. It exists in a social environment where people constantly observe one another's lifestyles, achievements, and status. Even when individuals try to ignore it, comparison slips quietly into the background of the mind. Someone earns more. Someone builds something larger. Someone acquires symbols of success that appear more impressive. These comparisons are subtle but powerful. They can transform financial ambition from a personal goal into a social competition. And when success becomes a competition, the concept of enough becomes almost impossible to reach. Because no matter how far someone climbs, there is always another example slightly higher on the horizon. The pursuit of more money stops being about comfort or freedom. It becomes about staying ahead in a race that never officially ends. Number 2. Identity becomes entangled with wealth. Over time, financial success begins shaping how people see themselves. Achievements bring recognition, respect, influence. The world begins responding differently. Conversations shift, opportunities appear, and slowly, wealth becomes more than a resource. It becomes part of identity. The successful investor, the powerful entrepreneur, the high earner. These identities can feel empowering, but they also carry hidden pressure. Because when identity becomes tied to financial performance, slowing down begins to feel dangerous. Taking risks that might fail feels threatening. Even enjoying the wealth that has already been created can feel strangely uncomfortable. The person is no longer simply someone who has money. They become someone who must continue proving they deserve it. Before we move to number 1, take a moment. If this exploration resonates with you, if you've ever questioned the strange psychological pull that money can have on the human mind, share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you appreciate calm, unsettling storytelling that explores the deeper forces shaping ambition and behavior, consider liking this video and subscribing to Deeper 5. Because the final insight may reveal the most uncomfortable truth of all. Number 1. The addiction to more money can quietly replace the experience of living itself. This is the most unsettling possibility. When the pursuit of wealth becomes constant, it begins occupying the mental space where other parts of life once existed. Relationships become secondary to opportunities. Moments of rest feel unproductive. Time itself begins to be measured not by experiences, but by potential financial outcomes. The mind becomes trained to view life through the lens of accumulation. More deals, more investments, more growth. And because the brain has learned to associate financial progress with emotional reward, stopping the pursuit can feel strangely empty. Even when someone has achieved a level of wealth that could support them for the rest of their life, the urge to continue chasing more remains active. Not because they need it, but because their mind has been conditioned to crave it. The unsettling reality is that this addiction often hides in plain sight. Society rarely criticizes people for working too hard to earn more. In fact, it often celebrates them. The person who sacrifices everything to build wealth is praised for discipline and vision. But sometimes the applause hides a deeper cost. A life where success is measured only by financial growth can become narrow. The world becomes smaller, reduced to numbers and opportunities. None of this means that ambition itself is wrong. Financial success can create security, freedom, and opportunity. It can improve lives and expand possibilities. But when the pursuit of more becomes endless, it begins to resemble a treadmill that never stops moving. The runner continues forward, but the destination quietly disappears. Perhaps the most difficult question anyone can ask themselves is not how much money they want to earn, but why? Because behind the pursuit of wealth, there is often something deeper, a desire for safety, a need for recognition, a fear of falling behind, or simply the belief that happiness exists just beyond the next financial milestone. But if the desire for more becomes the center of life, the mind may never allow the person to fully experience what they already have. And in that quiet realization lies the unsettling truth. The addiction to more money does not begin when someone becomes wealthy. It begins the moment the mind forgets how to recognize the feeling of enough.